Welcome, everyone, to our monthly virtual interactive conference. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbie. This is a pre recorded presentation for those that might not be able to make it on Saturday, but I'm doing this because I want to give everybody an opportunity that's on my friends list to be able to participate. Um, and I am mindful that some of you are parents, some of you are in school, and some of you are working 2 and 3 jobs. So I understand. My whole purpose of me doing this platform is to get my message out loud and clear to um, like-minded Black Americans, like-minded African immigrants within the United States, as well as our global African family that reside in Canada, the Caribbeans, Latin America, um, Europe, and across the African continent. I am the founder, president, and CEO of the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. We host our monthly virtual interactive conference every last Saturday of the month. Join us in this virtual interactive conference. On this platform, we are genuine, sincere, transparent, and authentic. Special shout out to those who are putting their reputations on the line to be on this panel. Why do we host monthly virtual interactive conference? Because we're trying to raise funds for our film project. That's why. Before I jump into my presentation, I want to show my listeners what's happening in real time through these slides. Since January of this year, 2025, I've been doing my best to raise funds for our film project, and now we are in July, going on August, and still no donations. You can't say that I'm not trying because I'm documenting everything, and this is how come I moved my platform to Zoom so that way you can see it in real time. Um, I encourage my listeners, for those of you that's serious about doing business with me, exchange emails with me. So that way I can email you everything that I do online. And before you donate to my film project, I would like for you to please purchase my revised book first. So that way you'll know what you're getting yourself involved with. I do not operate like the next black man. Over here, I want to connect with my listeners. I want you to know that this is authentic, ain't no scams because I don't associate with scammers. I have a real book. Everything in that book, we're going to carry that out to the fullest. Those that disagree cannot be part of my business because this is membership based. This is why it's taken me 33 years, not because I ain't tried. It's because I keep running across um, off code Negroes. Bottom line, that Willie Lynch mentality is real and it's hurting us as a racial group big time. Can't help everybody, but again, I only want to work with those that want more out of life. And I definitely want to get my management team intact. So that way, this burden is not just on me alone. It'll be a shared burden, and it's also going to help speed up the process. That's why I'm reaching out to African immigrants from 10 African nations to help speed up this process. But for right now, I need for you all that's serious about participating on this upcoming virtual interactive conference, Saturday, July 26th. The time is 2 o'clock p.m. American Central Time, 3 o'clock p.m. Canadian Time, 8 p.m. West African Time, 9 p.m. South African Time, 10 p.m. East African Time, and 8 p.m. UK Time. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through five of my, I call it my main sources. Um, you can look at my PayPal Giving Fund page, which is the that's pretty good, but I'm just saying, as well as my virtual store. All of that stuff is going to be um, on my Medium transcript in the comment section below this video podcast. So you just click on that. Um, Also, I just want to remind my African listeners that lives on the African continent. I recommend that you go to my Medium transcript, click on the link, and scroll down to show and prove. And what I need for you to do is just listen to my audio podcast. It's going to be the same information that I'm seeing right now, but at least it won't eat up your bundles as much because it's going to be audio. If you listen to it through the video podcast, it's going to eat up a lot of your bundles, and I'm just trying to help you save money. So I'm trying to, be mindful of those of you that's on the continent that's listening. Right now it's hard times for everybody. So that's my way of just trying to look out for you. With that being said, let's look at some of these slides that I have. That first slide is going to be from Fortune magazine. So I'm going to pull that up. Let's see. Bear with me. This is the hardest part about doing all this stuff, but it is what it is. Okay, so hopefully that should be on the screen. And again, I'm just showing you this for, I would say, for credibility on my part, because I come with receipts. Again, the title of this article from Fortune magazine is, quote, a Zoom call of 44,000 Black women raised 1.5 million for Kamala Harris in 3 hours. We were ready. Now, the reason I'm showing you that is because, like, when we go to my GoFundMe page, you're going to see that since January of 2025, I still don't have any donations. Donations I'm trying to raise in order to do a quality film. Hood Liberator, made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins. And this is the whole purpose of me doing these virtual interactive conference, to raise money for my film project. And I want our young black youth and our African Black youth to see what I'm going through. This is ridiculous. In my business, we're not going to put, I want to make sure you all do not have to go through this type of foolishness that I am enduring. Not cool at all. It's a straight up turn off, but somebody has to do this. This is why my business is about raising the bar. This is why my business will be membership based. This is why we're going to separate ourselves from off code Negroes, urban terrorists, hardened criminals, pedophiles, degenerates, the Black Boule, Democrat shields, degenerates. Not saying that we're better. We just don't want to be around. Those type of people are anchors. Those people bring you down. Those people don't have any, a lot of them don't have goals in life. They don't have any ambition. It is what it is. And I cannot stand con artists. If I catch any con artists in my business, we're going to have protocol in place to deal with such people. Can't get at them like we want to because we're in the white man's country. It's what it is. But we will take them to federal court and sue the heck out of them. And if they don't have any money, then we're going to press for the maximum jail time for them to get. Just want to send a message that we do not want con artists up in this business, and they will be dealt with. And that's real. And I just want to be remembered for trying to do something positive, build something positive for our Black youth that's trapped in American ghettos. This is why, again, I'm reaching out to African immigrants from 10 African nations to help speed up this process. Once we get it popping here in Chicago, and once it's manifest, mark my words, everybody in Chicago is going to want to be a part of us, of this business. But again, ain't nothing changing on my end. Ain't nothing changing. 33 years, I'm still standing on business. We're going to raise the bar. That's what my creator put in my heart and mind to do. I didn't ask for this. I was called to do this. I was called to create the best African American business within the United States of America. And that's all I'm trying to do. So that's part. Okay. So now our next one is The Guardian. So I'm through with this. Let's see. Right. Hold on. All right. Let's see. The next one I'm looking for is The Guardian. Right. Here is. Okay. Hopefully that popped up on the screen. This article. Okay. Let me move this out the way. This article is talking about the median wealth of Black Americans will fall to zero by 2053. Warning, new report, unquote. Now, I'm saying, I'm predicting 2040. Either way it goes, it's still saying that the wealth of Black Americans as a collective is going to be a permanent underclass. And the reason I'm saying that is because on my end, I'm just saying based on experience, based on um, the way Black Americans move, um, this off-code behavior. Like I say, it's going to be the downfall. The slave mentality within Black culture is going to be the downfall of Black Americans unless we get this thing in check. We got to heal from that. I can't help everybody again. I've been pushing this for 33 years. I'm still on first base. It's a straight up turn off. It is what it is. Lord knows. I wish that I was able to find um, qualified Black middle class professionals that would be on my team. Um, Writing a book, I thought that I was gonna make a little money from that. Again, the whole purpose of me writing a book is for me to sell my idea, get my name out there, trying to do something productive, something constructive. You know what I'm saying? Um, Trying to hold my, what I'm saying, because I don't want to come off as being an angry Black man. I know one thing I'm not happy about this. Getting up in age, uh, but I know that eventually all this stuff is gonna pay off. But again, I just want to definitely reach out to our Black youth, Black males, and our young African males. We have to build this. Nobody else is gonna build this business for us. When I say we, I mean GRCAM members. Um, I'm just doing the best I can. That's all I can say. Righty. So our next, let me get out of this. Okay. Um, Gonna look at my Amazon author page. Now, I would say uneducated or twisted brothers and sisters that think that this is a scam. I don't even want them to be a part of my business. It's just, you know, and unfortunately, a lot of people that's online is just a lot of them are fake. As far as I'm concerned, I'm as real as they come. Like I say, I come with receipts. This book right here is the foundation of my Christian business. I want everyone that's serious about being a part of the grassroots community activist movement purchase my revised book. I try to have it as reasonable as possible. The Kindle's right here where the cursor is. The Kindle, which is the ebook, is $9.99. You can download it to your smartphone if you got a good smartphone. And the paperback or the soft cover book is $15 plus shipping and handling. This book here has been on Amazon for the past 13 years and still barely selling. It's a turn. I'm not interested in writing more books. I'm interested in creating effective and successful businesses. That's all I'm trying to do. But I'm writing my story out there to generate capital. Actually, I am losing money because I have to pay for the business. I have the business title. I did all the paper. I know how to create nonprofits. I know how to create for-profit businesses. But I lack the manpower and the capital. Again, this is why I wrote the book. So now I'm like, okay, well, I can't reach Black Americans through the book. Now, on the spiritual level, my creator placed in my heart, write the vision and make it plain. From the book of Habakkuk. So everything in that book, that's what we're going to carry out. And what I've written is only half of my knowledge. But it is what it is. Um, Again, this is the foundation of my business. Um, like I say, anybody that disagree with the vision and plan, my suggestion to you is to delete me off your friends list and don't come to no events with my name on it. And I stand on that, and I mean that. Because we don't have time to sit up here and debate. We see ain't nothing out there is really working. It's getting worse. And our children are going to end up paying the price for this off code behavior. And I don't want to sit up here and say, look, I told you so. It's just that's what's the sad part about all of this. But if it was up to me, business would be up and running up years ago. Um, but again, God give us free will. That's what we have to accept, and we have to understand that a lot of Black people don't mind being treated as fourth and fifth class citizens. A lot of African people don't mind, as well as Black Americans don't mind being a slave. They got that slave mentality, so you can't help them. I don't want to be no doggone slave. I'm a descendant of American slaves. My ancestors built this country. That doesn't mean I want to sit up here and um in America. I want to get doing positive business and expand into the African continent to help my brothers and sisters on the continent so we can learn how to get along with each other because we've been separated because of this transatlantic slave trade. We've been separated for 400 years. So we have to learn how to get reacquainted. We have to learn how to respect each other's culture, and we have to learn how to do business together. And in my business, I do not want any con artists up front, and that's how come I want people to submit their thumbprint to be part of my business. Not just yes, I want them to pass our criminal background checks. Yes, I would like for them to attend our mandatory orientation. So we put everything out on the table to let people know who we are and what we're trying to do for the African American community. After all, this is for you. Trying to do something so that way our people, especially our youth, will have an opportunity, a chance here in America because it's going to get really bad. The Trump administration is not going to be able to deport all those illegal immigrants because a lot of them are going to lay low. And you see how the Democrats are fighting like hell to protect them. If they would do that for us, because we're the ones that have been voting for those people for the past 60 years, and I kept saying to Black Americans, we have to demand economic tangibles. They wouldn't listen. Look at the mess we in now. And it's going to get worse. Uh, Now, when I get this business up and running, like I say, I'm turning it over, to my management team so that they can run the business without me being present. And I want to, go to South Africa and set up the business there. Hire Black South Africans that's going to become members of GRCAM because this is going to be membership based. And just do the best that we can over there, get it popping in South Africa, and then expand to 9 other African nations so that way we can do international trade with our brothers and sisters on the continent. Eventually, I don't know if it's going to happen in my lifetime. Shucks. Like I say, it's been 33 years. I'm still on first base. I hope things will speed up when I get over to Africa, at least in 5 African nations. Um, all right. So I'm done with that. Let's see. Um, okay, so I have another one that I would like to show. This is my GoFundMe. And notice 0%. That means no donations. It's disappointing, is what it is. Again, I am called to create the best African American business within the United States of America. And I'm going to try my best to do that. But I'm not in no position to hire anyone because I'm not making any money. This is why I have to do a film in order in terms of like for entertainment. So I am calling upon um, seasonal um, Black filmmakers, seasonal African filmmakers that's here within the United States of America. All I ask you to do is read my story first. If you agree with what I'm saying, then I want you to be a part of my film project. Help me, help me with this. Get behind this film project. My goal is to raise that $250,000. I mean, I wanted 500,000, but shucks, I mean, it's what it is. This is as low as I'm going. Again, I want to make a quality Black empowerment film. Whatever I earn from that film, that's going to put me in a better position financially so that I can do all these things that I talk about. I want to purchase property here in Chicago, Illinois. I want to purchase office equipment, hire qualified Black middle class professionals, as well as hire qualified African immigrants within the United States from 10 African nations. Um, and that's what the film is going to pretty much be about as well. But I want different people that's going to be on my part of the film crew, and part of my film project to have some give their insight, so that way we want to make it interesting. I mean, is what it is. Shucks, want to make it exciting, but I am going to keep it authentic, and I am going to make sure that, bottom line, that I am going to direct this film, but I am going to hire um, from the money I raise a legitimate production company. I'm going to reach out to Black production company. And, if I feel like, I'm not going to get a good deal, they're not going to work with our budget, then I'm going to reach out to an African production company. And then I reach out to, I would say, whomever. Bottom line, I want to get my film out there, but I want to make sure I'm using a legitimate production company. Bottom line, I'm not trying to do some film, even though it's low budget, but I'm not trying to do a film that's going to be a flop. Wanted to resonate, with our young people, uh, and all that stuff. That's all I'm trying to do. And I want our Black youth, especially our Black males, to see something positive, because all these negative images that we see of Black males, like, and yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I do watch some of it, but it's just It's, is what it is. But anyway, like BMF, they have a little series that comes on. I believe it's Stars and Power. You know, it's always something about being a drug dealer and all that stuff, and it glorify the street life and all that stuff. But I want to show a different perspective about that stuff, and basically, I just want to encourage our Black youth, especially our Black males, that they can use their minds. You don't have to be out in the streets. And I'm not knocking our brothers and sisters that's, in the streets and stuff, because my business is open for them as well. That's why we trying to bring it to the hood. They ain't trying to cower behind no computer. I'm going to the devil's stronghold, the Black ghetto, and make our presence known. But again, only way I'm going to be able to do all this stuff, I have to generate enough capital. And that's all I'm trying to do. May my Lord and Savior Jesus slash Yahshua get all the credit and glory, because he knows that I've been trying to do something productive for the past 33 years. All right, I have one more thing I would like to show you all. Bear with me. Oh, let's see. This is my this is my new page called Buy Me a Coffee right here. Now, the reason I'm on here too is because, hey, I'm just trying to let people know I'm out here. I'm trying to raise some capital for what I'm trying to do. And I want people to, like I say, read my story first. And, if you agree with my vision and plan, then come on and let's get behind this film project and let's do this thing. This would be a big win for I would say Black Main Street. And again, I'm not trying to claim I'm all that. I'm trying to be a superhero and all that stuff. That's not what I'm about. This is why I'm reaching out to others, because I can't do this alone. This is a Nehemiah assignment beyond myself. Like I say, I'm willing to share the limelight, but I just want to make sure that everybody's going to be on gold. That's all I'm saying. And so this is my other site that I'm using fund to help raise funds for the film. You know, alrighty. So appreciate you all um, listening to what I had to say on that. I have a little speech I want to try to say. Um, my critics have the nerve to ask me what's taking me so long to get my Christian business up and running. And like I say, I flipped the script and asked them, have they purchased my revised book? They say no. I asked them, have they purchased any items from my virtual store? They say no. I asked them, have they donated to the film project? They say no. Then what the hell you expect? Again, the white man is not stopping Black Americans from buying my revised book. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from buying items from my virtual store. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from donating to my film project. That's a personal choice. That's this slave mentality within Black culture, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to waste another 33 years trying to reach out to Black Chicagoans who don't care about our community, let alone our children. A majority of Black Americans have become Americanized, entitled, and develop a narcissist attitude. Nowadays, it's about every Black person for themselves. I reached out to the conscious community, people like Vicky Dillard, but still haven't heard anything back from her. I reached out to Brother Tariq Nasheed. He created Hidden Colors series. He also is credited for starting the delineation movement, also known as FBA, Foundational Black American. But he has not responded to my emails as well. I'm not throwing shades. I'm just saying hasn't. I've also reached out to Professor Black Truth, but I still haven't heard anything from him neither. It is what it is. A lot of people, I guess they just, have big egos and all that stuff. I ain't kissing up to nobody first and foremost. And some people want to say, "Oh, Emmanuel, you should talk to such and such and such and such." I used to run after people back in the 90s. Those days are over. Majority of Black Chicagoans that I've spoken with on the streets in real life told me that they're not interested in my vision or, whatever I have to say. And again, this is why I created this platform to broadcast my vision and plan to those who would listen. And I've been paying out of pocket for my business title since 2010, wasting money. Um, but I don't look at it too much as a waste because it's going to help our young Black youth as well as African Black youth. It's going to pay off. It's just the fact that I just need to connect with the right people, people that have the means and resources that invest in what I'm trying to do. Um, so my film project is my last attempt to try to build something positive for my racial group, Black Americans, before I cut and run to Africa. At this point in the game, we're only focusing on Chicago. I want to do this film to let the Black masses and the Black world know who we are, what we're trying to do for our people that's trapped in the American ghetto, specifically Black Chicago. My focus here on out is to connect with like minded Black Americans beyond Chicago, like minded African immigrants within the United States of America and the global African family, again, who reside in Canada, Europe, Latin America, the Caribbean, and across the African continent. I need you all to step up, put me on blast. In other words, help my audio podcast, my video podcast, help it go viral. Just put it out there, share it on with all your friends, and leave comments in the comment section. Hit the like button. That's going to help speed up the process. I'm putting everything on the line, my reputation. Again, I'm not interested in writing more books. I'm interested in creating successful and effective Black businesses that hire Black people and African people. That's all I'm trying to do. And separate ourselves from these off cold Negroes because they make me sick. Shoot, I ain't having that mess up in my business, and that's real. I'm running my business the way I run my home drama free. Um, I don't want to die in America or get bogged down with Black American issues. Instead, I want to turn my business over to my management team and expand my business to South Africa. Like it or not, I'm called to create the best African American business within the United States, and I will if given a chance. But I need qualified people on my management team that's going to help me run this business. The CAM members will consist of Black Americans and African immigrants from 10 African nations. They are as follows: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. I understand that you are here to live your American dream, and that's fine. We won't be out in the street marching and protesting. You don't have to worry about Trump, coming after you. As long as you're legal, we cool. And that's all I want to work with people in the first place. That's legal. Because I don't want to be around con artists and scammers and illegal immigrants and all that stuff. As long as you're legal, I can work with you. And you won't have any issues with, the Trump administration because they're looking for illegal immigrants. So I'm unable to reach Black Americans, as I said, due to the slave mentality, due to envy within the Black society. My own family members, they tell me in so many words, Emmanuel, get a quote unquote real job. That's code for work for the white man. Don't try to start no Black business. Anybody that talk to me like that, hey, I'm like this with my own family. If you come to me like that, we strangers for life, point blank. So if I'm like that with my own family, how you think I'm gonna be with strangers? You could try me if you want to, and I'll show you better than I can tell you. Again, I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't want to get involved with my type of business because yeah, we raising that bar over here. We're gonna hold everybody accountable for their actions, and we want to weed out con artists, hardened criminals, and urban terrorists. All I ask is that you please purchase my revised book and read my story for yourself. Quote, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, second edition. If you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, then you will automatically become a GRCAM member. Again, before I cut and run to Africa, I need GRCAM members worldwide to get behind our film project. I want to make sure that Sister Renee is well taken care of because she has been working with me behind the scenes for the past 13 years, and we will dedicate a local chapter for her in West Memphis, Arkansas. Before I turn the business over to my management team, I want to make sure that I'm able to sustain myself in South Africa and lead by example by applying for dual citizenship, setting up GRCAI of South Africa, and hiring um, Black South Africans that's going to become members of GRCAM. So again, we're trying to raise funds for our film project Hood Liberator, made in Chicago. The War Against Willie Lynch Begins. This is a solution-based docudrama based on my experience growing up in Chicago and the purpose why I created GRCAM, the grassroots community activist movement. This is our Black Panther moment, except it's not owned by Disney, it's owned by GRCAM members. We are using crowdfunding such as GoFundMe, PayPal Giving Fund, and buy me a coffee. So that everyone will know exactly where the funds will be going. Our objective is to raise $250,000. The donations will help with our marketing campaign, production, and legal expenses to make this docudrama. If you are a U.S. citizen, then I recommend that you use our PayPal Giving Fund page because You can use this as a tax write-off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit faith-based advocacy organization. Um, well, the title of this presentation is Why Africa Remains Undeveloped is because of neocolonialization. I encourage all of my listeners to go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this audio podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. Please watch the video entitled How Europe Stole Africa, the secret deal of the Berlin Conference. This will help give you a better understanding about this topic. Please take good notes, and after my panel finish their presentation, then I will open up the Zoom line for Q&A. And again, that's going to be on Saturday. Please mark your calendars. Saturday, July 26th. And I already set the time, so I talk about this topic in my revised book that a majority of you haven't read. First of all, Africa is not poor. Africa is rich because God has blessed Africa with a lot of natural resources such as diamonds, gold, oil, all sorts of minerals. Western nations depend on Africa's resources in order to run their economy. For example, in Europe during the Dark Ages, they had nothing going on over there. It was when Europeans left Europe and came to Africa's shores. Ever since then, Africa has been going through hell with these Europeans. Europe was a poor continent, but after they encountered with Africa, all of a sudden Europe became wealthy. These dirty white supremacist financial elites obtained their wealth by colonizing Africa and stealing her resources. The Europeans enslaved my ancestors to help build the New World, which is now called the United States of America. They also brought our, our brothers and sisters to the Caribbean and Latin America for their benefits, separating people's families and destroying people's lives. Just ridiculous. The system of white supremacy is intertwined with art and entertainment, econ- econ- economics, education, criminal justice, government, media, and religion. The foundation of America is anti Black racism, even before the US Constitution was written. The white supremacist financial elites were responsible for the destruction of Africa. They came from 8 European nations. They are as follows: Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands, Portugal, Spain, and the United Kingdom. They had a secret meeting called the Berlin Conference where they decided to divide Africa among themselves, and this is how they looted and stole Africa's wealth. Now Africa must put aside tribalism and with one voice demand reparations for colonization from each African nation above. They are responsible for the current social conditions in Africa. I don't care what nobody say. I know that, a lot of Africans, they have been, um, have that colonized mindset, thinking that coming to the West is the best place. They worship white people. It's just so ridiculous. But we have to heal. And that's why I don't want to waste my time here in America. I mean, shucks, I could drop dead today and Black Americans wouldn't care. It's like I say, I mean, I want to make a positive legacy that can be passed down to the next generation. That's all I'm trying to do. And like I say, I don't want I just don't want no one to have to be in this type of situation To me, this is 33 years. It's like a jail sentence. It's a straight up turn off. But I'm asking my Lord and Savior to just give me perseverance and for him to just reveal his power. Yes, this makes me upset because he can do this, but it's just ridiculous. Nevertheless, those of us who reside in America and who identify as descendants of American slaves or foundational Black Americans are demanding our reparations from the U.S. government based on lineage because all of the so-called founding fathers had slaves. This act alone put them on the hook. Our brothers and sisters from the Caribbean have to use GRCAM to go after those European nations that enslaved them. Our brothers and sisters from Latin America have to demand their reparations from Portugal and Spain. Getting back to the topic, the reason for Africa's underdevelopment is because Western nations don't want Africa to develop all at all. They want all of Africa's resources because they some just greedy people. That's all. Yeah. This is why I am reaching out to African immigrants here in America from 10 African nations to help speed up the process. Um, Again, I understand why you're here to live out your American dream, but I need your help. I'm unable to reach my own people, because of this slave mentality. And if you work with me, all I'm asking you to do is buy the book and read my story. If you agree, then I would like for you to be a part of my film project, and you know, you could be a part of the film as well. Have input. Those of you that's, I would say, got experience in terms of acting. You can audition for a role for to be in the film. So you know, let's make that happen. Make yourself known to me. Again, don't wait until I'm dead. I'm trying to get this thing popping now. Know what I'm saying? Real talk. The reason, the reason you are able to reach your American dream is because of my ancestors who fought and died during the civil rights era to help get African immigrants, Afro Caribbeans, and other non-white immigrants to come to this country. Truth be told, the white supremacist financial elites only wanted European immigrants here. Pan Africanism is one sided only. African immigrants, Afro Caribbeans, and Afro Latinos benefit when they arrive here due to the civil rights struggle. They have access to education, immigrant loans, housing, and employment. When Black Americans come to Africa, we have to come with a bag. There's no benefit for us. We are looked upon as foreigners, not as displaced Africans. That's just how it is. Our first task is to help get my revised book on that bestsellers list so that way the Black world could take us serious. Our second task is to get behind this film project and help me get this film fully funded and made so that together seasonal Black filmmakers and seasonal African filmmakers can work together to create a powerful Black empowerment film which will resonate with our Black youth and our African youth about our social condition we face within the United States of America. From delineation from other groups has exposed this myth of Black and Brown coalition to gain a sense of political awakening among Black Americans after the 2024 elections. The proceeds from the film will help put me in a better position financially. In GRCAM of Chicago, descendants of American slaves slash um, freedmen or foundational Black Americans and African immigrants will have equal authority within the business. Black Americans will heal from this slave mentality, and African immigrants will heal from this colonized mindset. We have been separated, as I said before, for 400 years due to the transatlantic slave trade, which was imposed by the white supremacist financial elites. The transatlantic slave trade was a horrific system where millions of Africans were forcefully transported across the Atlantic Ocean to the Americans to be enslaved. This brutal system spanned from the 16th to the 19th centuries, involving the capture, transportation, and sale of enslaved Africans for forced labor on plantations. In GRCAM, Chicago, both Black Americans and African immigrants will respect each other's culture, learn how to do business together, and replicate our business um, in each African nation that we visit. Um, we will we will create GRCAM South Africa. I want to provide employment to Black South Africans and encourage them to become GRCAM members. I want all my members to become global citizens, and I want to help Black Americans that are GRCAM members to use their talents in exchange for dual citizenship in each African nation that we set up local chapters in. GRCAM of Chicago is about raising the bar in Black America. We will have protocol put in place to separate ourselves from con artists, the Black Boule, degenerates, Democrat shills, hardened criminals, pedophiles, off-code Negroes, and urban terrorists. All of the principles in my revised book is the code for GRCAM members. Those who are not a part of us, we will pray for them, show them tough love, and keep it moving. Again, I don't operate like the next Black man. I have my own style and way of doing things. The sooner we get this film project fully funded and made, the sooner we can start building GRCAM of Chicago. This business is not about me. It's about GRCAM members and their families. It's about improving our community and meeting the needs of the African American community and the African immigrant community. It's my hope that we will build this movement together, a movement that will not put politics over our interests, a movement that refuses to let the same insiders who have done nothing for decades keep holding on to power without accountability. We're nonpartisan, we're independent, and we're not affiliated with anyone. We're M1, meaning we are melanated first. Our focus is on solving Black issues at the community level. I will never forget where I came from or who I'm fighting for. How will the global African family benefit from GRCAM of Chicago? Well, we will come to your nation and establish a business relationship in your country in order to help improve your economy through tourism, as well as set up a local chapter in each African nation that we visit. But ball is in your court. I would say to the Black grassroots and to the global African family, because I'm just one Black man with a vision and a plan. It takes a team to make a dream work. This slave mentality continues to be passed down to the next generation instead of us passing down our own Black business, which will be which will generate generational wealth. I'm proud of the that Native Africans are starting to wake up. The West is losing its influence in Africa. Shout out to Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger for getting on code and kicking out the French out of their country. It took them 39 years, but they did it. This should be an example across the African continent that we want our continent back to its rightful owners, Black Africans. Some people say that South Africa is doing well because of the presence of Europeans. Is colonization the reason Africa is impoverished? Africa is not the only colonized continent. Other countries were colonized too, or yes, other continents, I'm going to say, were colonized too, like India and China. Singapore was a poor, had a poor economy, but today Singapore have a booming economy. When President Robert Mugabe tried to reclaim his land back from the former colonizers in the UK in a nice way, they refused to give reparations back to the native Black Africans for taking their farmland. So in 2000, he decided to use his authority to take back the stolen land and give it back to the original owners, the native Black Africans. What did the white supremacist financial elites do? They had America to put economic sanctions on Zimbabwe to make Zimbabwe an example to South Africa. And if they dare to retake their land from the former colonizers, then they will face economic sanctions too. I believe this is why Black South Africans did not vote for Julius Malema for president because they were afraid of the backlash from white people. Just like Black Americans, most of them don't mind being treated as third or fourth class citizens. They don't mind being a slave to the white man. For 33 years, I've been reaching out to Black Chicagoans to work with me in building our own Black business for the sake of our Black youth. Majority of Black Chicagoans told me that they're not interested. My own family went even further. They tell me to get a real job. And again, that is code for you should not focus on creating a Black business, just work for the white man. Anyone, again, who talked to me in that manner, we will remain strangers for life. If I'm like that with my own flesh and blood, how you think I'm going to be with strangers? We have to hold ourselves accountable for the action we're doing. I can't make Black Chicagoans work with me. God has given us free will. I refuse to sit back and watch Black America fall to the wayside. I value our Black youth, and this is why I'm fighting as hard as I am online, holding these online conferences to broadcast my vision and plan to help improve Black Chicago and hopefully get my Christian business up and running in other cities across the United States, as well as on the African continent. So help me God. These white supremacist financial elites have our Black politicians in their pockets. That's why they don't fight for us. They have no issue selling us down the river. China is becoming the new colonizers by giving African leaders debt trap loans that they know these African leaders are unable to repay. The problem is just like this video about how China is discriminating against Africans in their own homeland. I have a few associates who live on the continent, and they tell me that a majority of businesses are owned by foreigners. For example, Arabs, Asians, East Indians, and Europeans. This is why it's important that African immigrants in America step up and work with me and getting my Christian business established in America, specifically Chicago, so that we can expand it to the African continent. GRCAM of South Africa would provide jobs for um, Black South African youth so that they can feed their families. It will also help improve the African economy. Once Black Chicago see Cacao Chicago materialize, mark my words, everybody in Chicago will want to be a part of our business. Again, nothing has changed on my end. We will separate ourselves from the enemy within our community. I don't want to see any of my members living in an urban war zone, but we see that nothing out there is working. The African American community is getting worse, and I'm getting up in age. I long to have my business up and running in Chicago as well as on the African continent. Again, without financial support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, then I am unable to do my God given assignment. Our children will be the ones who will end up suffering in the long run. Lord, have mercy on my racial group. Again, thank you all for listening. And please try to listen to the video about how Europe stole Africa, the secret deal of the Berlin Conference. Then also look at, I'm just saying, this is going to help so we can have something to talk about. Recolonizing Africa. The African youth have spoken, and Africa will be recolonized if we stand by and do nothing. Those are some, pretty powerful videos that I recommend that you listen to. Actually, look at all of them if you can, because this is how I get down. I like to, you know, come fully with receipts. These things, even though it happened a long time ago, we're still feeling the same effects. That's why Black Americans, we need, to be on code about getting our reparations, because there's a $10 trillion wealth gap between Blacks and whites here in America. And that's a doggone shame. And if we don't, get this thing taken care of soon, it's just going to get even worse. So there you have it. Thank you all for listening. And if you want to be on my panel, send me a message to my Facebook inbox by Friday, and then I will send you the Zoom link so that way you can come on the show on Saturday. So those that want to be on my panel, you have up until Friday, the 25th, to let me know that you interested in being on the panel, so that way I know how many people that's going to show up. And again, I appreciate all of my past guests that have came on my show and my future guests that's going to come. Again, those that do, let's say, individual, sermons, or individually promoting their books or businesses. What I do for those guest speakers is that I teach the people or my guest speakers, how to create their own podcast, YouTube channel, and Wix websites. That's all I can do at this point in time, because my resources is limited. I'm on a shoestring budget, not by choice, but because I don't have much support for what I'm trying to do. But again, my business is going to be twofold. Part of my business, the for-profit type of business, will be, we're going to own and control our own community grocery store, community healthcare clinic, and community housing. Everybody needs food, healthcare, and shelter. And that's going to help me. That's why I'm going to make my bread and butter. And the for-profit type of business, we want to make sure that we have our support systems intact to help single Black mothers and single Black fathers that stays in the inner cities, keep their kids safe out of the streets and out of gangs. We want to provide quality and affordable health care. We want to create a safe environment for our youth and also for local residents that's going to be on our premises. We're going to have armed security. We're going to have drones. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure I have all those type of things in my business. And um, I just want to say this for the record, you know, non-Black sympathizers are welcome to join us, not as groups, but as individuals. And I want to know where each person stands as it pertains to lineage-based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves. If they, if any of them want to start, I would say rambling or just running off at the mouth, no, they can't be a part of us. Either you agree or you disagree. That's all I want to know. The ones that agree, then cool, they could be a part of us. Sit in the back seat and keep your mouth closed. Over here, we're M1. We're focusing on solving Black issues point blank. We're not going to be colonized up in this business. Black people shouldn't, this shouldn't be no issue. But this is how I get down. And I'll show you better than I can tell you. But just gotta wait until I'm able to generate capital. And I want the whole Black world to know my story. And I want to make sure none of my members ever have to endure this foolishness. Because this is unacceptable. And if it wasn't for um, my Lord and Savior, Jesus slash Joshua, putting this on my heart to continue to thank God that He blessed me with Sister Renee to work with me. Because if it wasn't for her, I would have left this stuff alone because I wasn't getting much support. She came all the way from Wisconsin, from another state, to come to Chicago, Illinois to work with me. She bought my first book. She said, "Hey, I seen some mistakes in that," and I was like, "Dang, I wasn't in the position to, sue, my publisher because I paid for publishing and editing. All they did was just publish the book; they didn't edit it, so it made me look unprofessional. But God touched Sister Renee's heart, and she helped me revise my book. We went through it page by page, and I'm content with it. So if there's any mistakes in the book, it is what it is. No shame. I stand on everything I've written. And bottom line, um, we're gonna do this. We're gonna carry out everything that's written in that book to the fullest. So help me God. And again, anyone that disagree, they can't be a part of us. I'm not going to sit up here and bait them and try to change their mind. It is what it is. Keep it moving. That's how I feel. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to what I had to say. Please put me on blast. Again, I need for my African group members from GRCAM of Africa. I need you all to step up. Don't act funny style with me. You're in my groups. I need for my Christian in Light of the World Inspirational Group. I need you all to step up. Also, my other Christian group, Christian Spoken Word Network, I need you all to step up. Leave comments in the comment section on my YouTube page and share it. That's all I'm asking you to do. Those of you that got small ministries, make arrangements with me so you can promote your ministry as well as share a 30-minute sermon. Next month, we will be promoting, I would say, Black Black artists, African artists, Black entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs. That's on my friends list for you all to come on here and promote your products and services, your book, your music to my listeners. Um, with that being said, that's going to conclude our show for today. And hopefully I hear from you all on Saturday. It's going to come on here. Really appreciate, the fact that my creator has allowed me to create this platform. I pray that this platform would go viral, both my video podcast and my audio podcast. Pray that I'm able to generate the capital that I need to get this get this film project fully funded and made first, because I have to focus on the film. The film is going to help put me on the map, and proceeds from that film is going to allow me to do all the stuff that I kept talking about for the past 33 years. Those that have been acting funny style with me in my groups that didn't want to come on my show, I'm going to leave you behind. We will remain strangers for life. I only want to communicate with active group members, those that's, doing your part, those that's, posting my information, leaving comments. Because if you do that, then that's showing me that you're serious about working with me. And once I'm in a better position financially, and especially when I come to the African continent, I will hire you based on our budget and sponsorship. So don't try to say, "Oh, Emmanuel, you said you was gonna hire me." Don't quote me. It all depends on our budget and sponsorship. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna conclude our show for today. Thank you all for listening, and catch you on the next episode. And again, please, those of you that want to be on my panel by Friday, I'm gonna say by 11:55 p.m. Send me a message so that way I know how many people that's gonna be on the show, so that way I can send you out the Zoom link, and then you and take notes and all that stuff, so that way you can be prepared, right? So we can do a good professional show. And that's all. Peace and blessings. And that's going to conclude our show for today.